Why are we obsessed with South Africa as a foreigners? Who is going to build the infrastructure? Who is going to bring the better future in Nigeria if all Nigerians are not at home? Who is going to pick up the beautiful flag of Mozambique and fight the corrupt leaders of Mozambique if all Mozambicans are not at home? Who is going to pick up the economy of Zimbabwe if all Zimbabweans, they're only thinking about going to South Africa? Who is going to bring back the GDP of Ethiopia if all the Ethiopians, they're only thinking about flocking to South Africa and open illegal supermarkets in South Africa? South Africans been singing a song as a warning, trying to warn all the foreigners in South Africa that one day we won't be allowed to enter public health facilities, and we thought it was a joke until today. We are no longer allowed to enter public health facilities. Now some of South Africans, they are singing another song, trying to warn us about next year, that our children, all the children of foreign nationals without papers, they won't be allowed to attend public schools in South Africa. And we think it's a joke. Come next year, January, all the foreign nationals will cry in South Africa. My advice to you, don't waste your money paying school fees. Don't waste your money buying stationery. Don't waste your money buying uniform. Just take your children to home where you are coming from. You have schools at home. We might not have education with quality like South Africa, but we have schools at home. It's better than to waste your money and you will end up regret.
Hello, my people. Okay, so these are 5 reasons why, as an educated Black South African woman, I feel that the Dudula movement is still very, very, very important to our political landscape and to our country altogether. The reason why I'm mentioning this, guys, is because I've been seeing a lot of comments around, especially with Dudula being like, so hyped up right now. They march into the Human Rights Commission and what. I've been seeing a lot of comments about the fact that the people that support this movement are poor and they're uneducated and No, guys, I'm educated, I'm not poor. And I support this movement and I'm proof. And here are my reasons. Okay, firstly, I could only afford medical health care or private medical health care 5 years ago. As a 30-year-old woman, when I got absorbed into my corporate company, that's when I could afford it. Before that, I was under my parents' medical aid until I was 18. You guys all know that you can still prove that you're a student and they will still keep you on the medical aid. However, once you pass 21, you're a fully fledged adult. Doesn't matter if you're school or whatever. You are an adult. And can your parents afford, can South African middle-class parents afford to have like 3 adults or 2 adults on a medical aid insurance scheme or plan? No, it's flipping expensive. So for the time being, I was going to a government hospital when I was in university. And most university students, educated university students, use public hospitals. And if you know, in South Africa, the average waiting time in a South African hospital is 3 to 4 hours. So don't expect to be helped. So why should it be that an undocumented, non-national can weigh down our systems and get a bed over South Africans, get help over South Africans, derail the time that, the response time that the patients actually get to help? So everyone that says, Hore, this is a poverty movement, this is an education movement, is everyone in South Africa that has never been to a public hospital. And I'm not stupid enough to think that because I afford private healthcare right now, that this movement is not important, because I know how it feels. My grandmother still uses a public hospital. My cousins still use a public hospital. I'm not stupid. Okay, that's the first thing. And just to add on to the first point, guys, I want to explain how public hospitals in South Africa work quickly. They are absolutely free, and they really mean that. If you don't have the money, they won't force you to pay there, right? And so I've worked in Uganda, I've worked in South Sudan, I've worked in Kenya, and I've worked, okay, that's the African countries that I've worked in, right? I want to explain something to you guys. Ne? You see, when they mean free, they really mean that in South Africa. Like the healthcare system here is one of the strongest that we've ever seen, right? The HIV program here is the best in the world. And there's a reason for that, right? We have really great professionals here. There are people who come from America to come and train medically here because literally it's that amazing, it's that busy, it's that heavy, right? But when they say it's free, they mean that it's absolutely free. You don't even have to pay. You don't even have to pay. But who pays? The taxpayers pay. The government subsidizes the doctors there and the nurses there and pays the facilities there. And it's absolutely free. So when a South African does not get a bed, and a non-national who's not documented, we don't even know where they're from, gets a bed over a South African, does that make sense to you guys? While South Africans are paying for those services? No. Anyway, the second reason is this: the infrastructure, the deterioration in our infrastructure, because the truth is non-nationals do not take care of our country the same way that we do. It's the truth, guys. It is the truth, and I'm going to put it out there. Ne? I'm going to give examples, 2 good examples. Ne? I'm going to give Gauteng examples because I can't give examples anywhere else. I live in Gauteng province. Corner, Witkoppen, corner, main road. Let's talk. Senten people, Joburg people, where you at? If you know what's happening behind the Porsche, what's this? The Porsche garage, that Porsche dealership, the car dealership. There's informal settlements there. There's no water, no electricity. People have just put shacks there. They decided to stay there because obviously they work near those places. But the problem is when one person comes, more people come. More non-national people or foreigners come there. They keep putting their houses. They bath there. They live there. They have children there. Behind Porsche. Now, Porsche has been existing there for more than 20 years in that place or whatnot. And all of a sudden, they have to deal with these people who have invaded the back of their property. Now, we know, and let me tell you, we know that if something like that happens, who wants to build around that place? Who wants to live in a place like that? Because it automatically becomes unclean, unsanitary, because people shit there. There's no water, there's no running water and everything. And it automatically also is a direct attack on our economy because no one wants to invest. Do you think Porsche would want to grow their dealership there after what those people have done behind there? No, they wouldn't. They wouldn't. Another place I'm going to give you, Ben Skuman Highway, coming from Centurion, going to Pretoria. On your right-hand side, the University of South Africa. And then when you go there a bit forward, you're going to meet Hosimampuru on your left. On the right, before you get to Hosimampuru, there's a Shell garage. Did you guys see what's happening next to that Shell garage? I literally saw a shack like this falling. A shack like this falling on the national road. On the national flippin' road. These places are not demarked as safe. They're just staying there. And listen to this. Let me show you why we now become responsible. Because our constitution says that when people by pay, I don't know what is by pay in English, but when people settle wherever they are and they form communities, we need to take them to a safe place now because they formed a community. They've said we need to not give them electricity. We need to not give them water. But who told them to go stay there? Who told them to go stay there? Why didn't they go first to a place where there's already electricity? More taxpayer money. Anyway, we'll continue this on part 2.